Hey everyone, Stef Haynes here. Really excited to announce that I am releasing my first ever motion control enabled preset pack for Vital, which is a really great free virtual synthesizer. This preset pack was designed with recorder players in mind, but if you play a wind controller that has motion controls like the Roland AE-30 or the Sylphyo, this might work for you as well. Just know that I haven't been able to test it for those instruments yet. Anyway, this video will be mostly geared towards recorder players. These presets make use of tilt and rotation, and setting them up is quite straightforward. We'll get to that soon. First, I just want to say that there is a catch when it comes to using this preset bank with the recorder. In order to use this preset bank with the recorder, you will need to host Vital inside of a digital audio workstation that can convert MIDI CC data into Aftertouch. Or, if you're a Mac user, you can download the free application Midipipe, which can do this conversion for you and will allow you to use this software with any DAW or in standalone mode. I'll go over how to configure Midipipe for this use later in the video. You will need to do this for two reasons. Reason number one, the recorder does a much better job sending CC data than it does Aftertouch. At least it does in January 2022. This might change in the future. Reason number two, Vital does a much better job handling breath data from the recorder if it's been converted into Aftertouch. So that's a little complicated and I can't fully explain why, but based on all of my experimentation, that is the case. I'm sure that someday soon the recorder will be updated to send Aftertouch just as well as it can send MIDI CC data, and then we'll be able to use the standalone version of Vital with this patch bank. I'll be sure to drop another video when this happens. Until then, we'll need a digital audio workstation to help us out a little bit. So here is a list of digital audio workstations that I know of that can convert breath data into Aftertouch. I did a little bit of research on this, and it was difficult to find much info out there on the internet because, well, this is a pretty unusual use case. Anyway, let's talk about how to set up the motion controls. Tilt is already taken care of, provided that you have your recorder to set CC number 1 for tilt, which is the default setting on the recorder. To use rotation, you'll have to MIDI map that movement to macro number 2, which can be a little bit tricky. Here's how I think you should do this. Right-click on macro number 2, and then with your other hand, start moving the recorder like this. While the recorder is in motion, set Learn MIDI Assignment. You'll know you've succeeded if the dial points straight up when you're in playing position, and if it tracks the rotation of your recorder. Once that's done, you're good to go. All of these patches have a unique sound, but the motion controls will always do the same thing. Tilt will fade in a nice vibrato, rotate to the left will fade in a nice tremolo effect, and rotate to the right will fade in two more sounds, a fourth and a fifth below the note that you're playing, giving you a nice little harmony. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoy playing these presets as much as I enjoyed making them. Feel free to make any adjustments you want to these sounds, of course. The internet is full of information on this particular synthesizer and how it works. If you want to learn more about how to use this synthesizer to make sounds for digital wind instruments, just click on the suggested video at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. To install these presets, click on this icon, click Import Bank, navigate to wherever you happen to have the .vital bank file saved, click on it, and then hit Open. You can find these patches later by hitting Browse Preset and then finding the patch bank over here in this window. Okay, let's talk about how to use Midipipe to do the CC to Aftertouch conversion so that your DAW doesn't have to, and you can use this preset pack with any DAW or in standalone mode. Again, unfortunately, this is only for Mac users, although there is an application for Windows called MIDiaux that should theoretically be able to do the same thing, although I haven't been able to get it to work for me, but I'm also not a Windows user, so if you can get it to work for you, let me know. Anyway, let's open up Midipipe. Midipipe is a fairly simple tool. Basically, you have all these tools over here that you can use to build a pipe that your MIDI data will go through and be affected by. So, first things first, we need to start with MIDI in, so just double click it and it will appear on the pipe side. Click on that to edit it. And look, it already knows we want to affect the MIDI coming off of the recorder. Great. Let's go ahead and click Hijack. This is going to prevent the recorder from being seen as an available MIDI source to applications such as Vital or your digital audio workstation. This is good because for some digital audio workstations, like GarageBand, you can't specify which connected controllers you want to use, and if Vital is picking up information from both the recorder and from the virtual Midipipe output, then it will get confused and the patches won't work properly. The next thing we need in our pipe is a message converter. So double click on the message converter and then click on the one over here to edit it. I always forget to do that and I end up editing this one. Then I wonder why it doesn't work. So click on this one and edit it. So what do we want to change? Well, we want to take a control change or a CC number. Which one? Well, chances are your recorder is sending 11, but you can always double check what you have it set to in the recorder app. And we want to change that to channel aftertouch. Great. Make sure that you click on Exchange Data Bytes, otherwise it won't work properly. The last thing we need in our pipe is MIDI out. Oops. Set the MIDI out to Midipipe output 1. Great. You'll probably want to save this so that you don't rebuild the pipe every time you want to use it. And you can do that. Just File and then Save, or hit Command S. Great, so let's test this with the standalone version of Vital. We'll open one of my 3D Winds presets. And look at that. Works perfectly. By the way, in the standalone version, you can click on the logo over here, and you'll be able to change which output you want to use on your computer, sample rate, audio buffer size, and most importantly, the active MIDI input. So you can see over here we're using Midipipe output 1. If I quit Midipipe, that's going to go away. It'll be replaced by the recorder. But we don't want to do that because Midipipe is pretty essential to this whole process. Anyway, that's all there is to it. Let me know how this goes for you.